to present the news. My name is Nambula Mwangala, and joining me on Sign Language Desk is Jennifer Shalionda. Let's look at the top stories making headlines. President Hichilema to grace Umutomolo ceremony in Nakonde on Sunday. Vice President Mutalena Lumango urges Zambians to embrace education. Government calls for comprehensive investigation in a Zamsa distribution truck spotted in Kanyama. And Eastern Province hosts Zambia-Malawi bilateral games. And now the news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema is on Sunday, September 6, 2024, expected in Nakonde district of Muchinga province to officiate at the Umutomolo traditional ceremony of the Namwanga people. In an interview with Zanis in Nakonde district this morning, Provincial Minister Henry Sikazwe says according to the program, President Hichilema will arrive on Sunday at 0930 hours at Nakonde airstrip. Details by Jane Simalumba.
President Hakainde Hichilema is on Sunday expected in Nakonde district of Muchinga province to officiate at the Umutomolo traditional ceremony of the Namwanga people. Muchinga province minister Henry Sikazwe confirmed President Hichilema's visit to Nakonde.
I can confirm that the president will be in the province on Sunday at 9:30 hours. He will be here. I'm sure you're aware that the president is coming here for Mutomolo ceremony and also other duties. The president will be here from Sunday up to somewhere 16:30. Then he'll go back to Lusaka. Now, our appeal to our people in Nakonde or in Muchinga is to receive the president. Actually, let me use this opportunity to invite the people across the province to come and meet the president here. This is the second time that the president is visiting Nakonde. He was here in April, and is yet again to come somewhere in November, December to come and do the groundbreaking for the airport.
The minister also explained that upon arrival, the head of state is also expected to address Nakonde residents before officiating at the groundbreaking ceremony of the expansion project of the Nakonde one-stop border post.
At 9:30, he will address the general public at the airport or at our airstrip. Then from there, the president will proceed to do the groundbreaking at the border.
In the 2025 budget allocation, the province will receive an increment that will allow for the implementation of a number of projects.
Even in the 2020-25 budget, the government has attached a lot of projects in Muchinga province. We have seen the coming of the roads, airport, and also the airstrip in Chinsali. And apart from that, the interconnector thing that we are doing here in Muchinga province. So the president has shown interest, or has that interest, to make sure that Muchinga, we don't lag behind like other provinces. So we want to move at the same pace with Lusaka or Southern Province to say.
Jane Simalumba Zanis in Nakonde district, Muchinga province.
And in education news, the Vice President, Mutalena Lumango, has called on all Zambians, especially women, to embrace education as it is an equalizer to developing the nation. Mrs. Nalumango said this shortly after graduating with a Master of Laws from Cavendish University School of Law class of 2024 in Lusaka today. Kasweka Sakaimbo, who covered the event, reports that the Vice President was among 690 students drawn from 19 different countries that graduated at the university's 17th graduation ceremony held at Mulungushi International Conference Center. Here is the report.
These are 690 Cavendish University Zambia graduates class of 2024 who graduated in various fields of academia today at Mulungushi International Conference Center. The Vice President, Mutalena Lumango, who was part of the over 600 graduating students, has graduated with a Master of Laws. Speaking shortly after the graduation ceremony, Ms. Nalumango urged all Zambians to take keen interest in pursuing education as it is an equalizer.
Through the president, that it is the best equalizer And I can tell you that's the mother that will never leave you. That's the father that will never leave you. That's the wealth nobody will get away from you. When you invest in your education, then really you are investing in your future. It is very, very important. It doesn't mean that when you get a degree, it is only a formal job that you are going to do. That is where we have been wrong. It simply makes your horizon on the perception of things change. Doing this degree has made me think a little differently than I did just 2 years ago, because I've spent 1.5 years doing this. Therefore, when government, for example, gives you an opportunity to go to school, never neglect that. I started with, this is the mother that will not leave you. Nobody will take away this.
And speaking at the graduation ceremony, guest of honor, Acting Chief Justice Evans Hamaundu, said Cavendish University has immensely contributed to the country's development.
Not only to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2024, but also to reflect on the remarkable journey of Cavendish University, Zambia, our nation's first private university, which has significantly contributed to Zambia's development and human capital. You are now ready to bring your skills and knowledge to the forefront, ensuring that justice, innovation, and prosperity thrive in our society. Remember that Zambia faces many challenges that will require your leadership. Our energy sector, food security, and water management are all areas where innovative solutions are desperately needed.
Earlier, the University Chancellor, Welani Chilengwe, urged the graduates not to discard learning, but continue pursuing education.
You are the embodiment of our mission and values. Remember the words of Martin Luther King, the time is always right to do what is right. You are equipped with the knowledge and skills to make a meaningful impact in the. Your achievements today continue the legacy of those who came before you. Success is not permanent, and failure is not final. Continue to strive for excellence and never stop learning.
Kasweka Sakaimbo reporting. Zanis, Lusaka.
Meanwhile, government says small and medium enterprises, SMEs in the country, need to be assisted with good quality business development services, BDS, to help them grow and thrive in their businesses. Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development Permanent Secretary Sweta Mutelo says it is for this reason that government, through the Technical Education, Vocational and Entrepreneurship Authority, TEVETA, is planning on developing 184 BDS providers across the country to be able to provide services to SMEs in all the 10 provinces of the country. Ms. Mutelo, who was speaking during the graduation of BDS master trainers at the Kafue Industrial Yard, has challenged the master trainers to ensure that they not only train BDS providers but also mentor and coach them to be able to provide good quality services to the SMEs. And TEVETA Enterprise Development expert Victor Zumani explained that the training aims at ensuring that quality controls are maintained as well as standardization in the provision of BDS in the country. Meanwhile, graduating BDS master trainer Beryl Francis has thanked the government and the African Development Bank for facilitating the training and has assured that the master trainers will ensure that they deliver as expected. On our health segment, Minister of Health Elijah Muchima has called for thorough investigation into the whereabouts of a Zambia Medicines and Medical Agency ZAMSA distribution truck that was spotted by members of the public offloading health kits in Kanyama compounds in Lusaka. Dr. Muchima has disclosed that the incident happened on September 17, 2024, when the driver of a distribution truck was seen offloading ZAMSA Health Center kits into a ZAMSA Land Cruiser. Speaking when he made an impromptu visit in the company of his Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Kennedy Lishimpi, to ZAMSA offices in Lusaka today, Dr. Muchima warned of stern action against officers who are involved in the alleged theft. Dr. Muchima also urged ZAMSA to put its house in order and that failure to do so will result in disciplinary action against erring officers. And ZAMSA Senior Corporate Communications Manager Bradley Chingobe confirmed that members of the public in Kanyama compound saw a ZAMSA distribution truck offloading what is suspected to be health center kits into a ZAMSA Land Cruiser. Mr. Chingobe explained that the act appears to be a foul play because the standard operating procedure is for the truck to offload health center kits within the ZAMSA yard and be accompanied by a manifest to show the movement of the stocks.
ZAMSA today, because of the concerns by the public, which I like. I want the public to be whistleblowers. When they see something unusual, they should alert us. I should thank the district health director for being vigilant. On the 17th of this last month, a truck from ZAMSA loaded with medicines going to Kanyama was seen offloading some kits into a Cherazet Land Cruiser at an authorized destination. And yet, the truck is supposed to have a seal to be broken at where the destination. It has caused concern. And as I speak today, the drivers concerned are not there. Not long ago, through the powers vested in me, I dissolved the board of ZAMSA. And I've been seriously looking at the management style. The donors are concerned. The general public in Zambia are concerned. Previously, we didn't have medicines. We didn't have money. This government has provided an opportunity that we have got medicines for the people. These medicines are supposed to reach the last mile. Kaputa, Miyombe, Shangombo. And that's the desire for the president and his government. Today, I'm asking the police, I'm asking the Director General, the policeman of the police, and the TEC. We need to find a solution. Up to now, I've not been furnished with what happened, the truck or the kids which were caught with some people suspects on the Chilabombo route. It's dying a natural death. We need prudence in this institution, serious prudence. Meaning, we have to be serious with what it takes to be here. We have to protect the interest of Zambia. We have to protect the interest of those taxpayers' money, both the Zambia taxpayers' money and donor taxpayers' money. Whoever is behind will not be left. And I'm warning the staff here to be serious with the work. What I suspect is the truck was overloaded.
This morning we were privileged to be visited by the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Muchima. He paid a random visit to ZAMSA, and we as ZAMSA appreciate the visit because the purpose of the visit was to alert management that members of the community in Kanyama had reported an incident where they saw a ZAMSA truck, distribution truck, offloading what is suspected to be health center kits into a ZAMSA Land Cruiser. So of course, this appears to be foul play because the normal situation and standard operating procedure is that these trucks offload or transfer or transship within the ZAMSA yard.
Back to education news. Government has completed the construction of 8-day secondary schools in Northern Province under the Zambia Education Enhancement Project ZEEP. Provincial Deputy Permanent Secretary Beauty Piri has revealed that the government has also embarked on the construction of an additional 9 secondary schools under the same project, which will help to create over 5,600 classroom spaces for learners. Geoffrey Piri reports that the Deputy Permanent Secretary said this during the commemoration of the 2024 World Teachers' Day in Kasama. Let's take a look at this report.
There are teachers drawn from different schools in Kasama district who are marching to celebrate their day, held under the theme valuing teachers' voices towards a new social contract for education. Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Beauty Undipiri, who officiated at the celebrations, highlighted some developments government has scored in the education sector.
New Dawn administration has completed the construction of all 8-day secondary schools under Zambia Education Enhancement Project in 8 districts, namely Chilubi, Luwingu, Borokoso, Mpulungu, Nsama, Kaputa, Mungwi. Government is also constructing 9 more secondary schools under ZIP in 9 districts.
Northern Province Education Officer Mlambwanawa commended teachers in the region for producing excellent results in national examinations.
We have seen a number of developments that have taken place in our various institutions. One of which I can cite is a good performance in terms of our academic as a province. Starting from grade 7, grade 9 up to grade 12, you are all aware that the province did perform well in the last year. This is as a result of the good works that you are doing.
Teacher unions used the occasion to appeal to government on a number of issues.
We have over 25,000 teachers who have obtained higher qualifications and need to be upgraded. Most of them are teaching classes that match their qualifications despite being unpaid.
Teachers don't want the NAPSA because it's a scam and it has failed them. NAPSA is a mockery among the teaching profession because there is no way a person can render service to the country for 50 years, 30 years, then at the end, just come empty-handed.
The celebrations also saw deserving teachers being awarded for outstanding performances. Geoffrey Piri reporting for Zanis in Kasama district.
We take our first break. Join us for more stories when we return. Keep watching.
The Issue is a program that looks at topical issues happening in the country. Watch The Issue every Friday at 19:30 hours, only on Zanis TV, Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH on Topstar. Don't miss.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. Minister of Health Elijah Mchima says the government has made huge strides towards improving the water and sanitation hygiene wash-in health facilities. Dr. Mchima has disclosed that most health facilities constructed between 2022 and now have water reticulation systems and flushable toilets, including staff houses. He said this in a speech read on his behalf by Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Technical Services Kennedy Lishimpi at the launch of the National Infection and Prevention and Control Strategic Plan 2022-2032 in Lusaka. Details in the following.
Today marks a milestone in terms of infection prevention and control, in line with the global strategy and universal health coverage. I am launching the first Infection Prevention and Control Strategic Plan 2022 to 2032. This is a live document, and in between the years, the document shall be subjected to review, updated to incorporate the emerging and re-emerging issues surrounding infection prevention and control.
Our commitment to improving IPC frameworks is not just about responding to emergencies like COVID-19. It is about building resilient health systems that can efficiently prevent, detect, and respond to infections. Launching this plan and guidelines demonstrates the government of Zambia's dedication to prioritizing the health and safety of its citizens, healthcare workers, and visitors to healthcare facilities.
Siders will continue supporting the Minister of Health in the rolling out and dissemination of this technical guideline through capacity building as well as mentorship program that will help the Minister of Health achieve its objective of reducing health-acquired infection while maintaining provision of high-quality health services.
In agriculture news, Deputy Zambia National Service ZNS Commander and Chief of Staff Major General Ruben Mwewa says ZNS is in the process of procuring rain guns for ZNS Mangango in Kaoma district of Western Province. The Deputy Commander notes that the initiative is aimed at boosting the capacity of the service to significantly engage in irrigated maize production. Major General Mwewa made the remarks during his inspection tour of the unit to check on the preparedness of the Western Province-based production camp to embark on the irrigated maize project. He disclosed that ZNS has identified 7 production camps to venture into irrigated maize projects and that ZNS Mangango was one of the units as it is strategically located near Luena River, which never dries up regardless of the widespread droughts. Meanwhile, Kaoma District Commissioner Muyambango Sheba has lauded the collaboration her office enjoys with ZNS Mangango and thanked ZNS Command for the support the district has continued to receive from Mangango office. The Ministry of Agriculture in Pulungu has commenced the distribution of farming inputs to farmers under the 2024-2025 Farmer Input Support Program FISIP. District Marketing Development Officer Beauty Kasanda has disclosed that a total of 9,500 people are expected to benefit from the program. Ms. Kasanda emphasized the need for each beneficiary to ensure that their national registration card, NRC, and phone numbers are compatible in the system. And Mpulungu District Commissioner Jehad Sikazwe is happy with the progress made in the distribution of inputs to farmers. Mr. Sikazwe explained that farmers come from far areas where roads are bad during the rainy season and that redeeming their inputs now will help avoid difficulties faced in the rain season. Mazabuka Mayor Vincent Lilanda has cautioned youths to desist from being used by businessmen to cause an artificial mealie meal shortage in the district as the commodity is enough for everyone. Mr. Lilanda has also warned youths against purchasing Zambia National Service branded Kalonga mealie meal for businessmen to resell it at higher prices to stop or face the law. Kazela Habwanda has more in the following reports.
As measures set by the government to ensure the hunger crisis is combated, the introduced cheap Zambia National Service Kalonga branded mealie meal price is one of the positives that has been affected by some businessmen that tend to hijack the idea by purchasing in bulk for resale at higher prices. The situation is similar in Mazabuka district, where queues are made longer by youths, commonly known as junkies, taking over the show. It is, however, believed that they are being paid to increase purchases for some businessmen. This morning, at the Ashraf mealie meal distributor store, the situation was the same as the Mazabuka Mayor Vincent Ilanda warned the suspected youths against being tools of an artificial mealie meal crisis. From a distance, queues are long as residents patiently purchase cheap government mealie meal. but the local authority emphasized the need for everyone to be the solution to the problem.
The Mirror situation is very normal. It's very normal. Let us not exaggerate it. You see people who are there. Majorities are younger men, below the age of 20. Those are the majority. Those are the majority. And we just want to request our people. Those people who are sending those guys, they pay them at any question to come and buy minimum in numbers. So our appeal to our people, let us not be selfish. People out there are very selfish. They want everything to themselves. We can't say there's a shortage of minimum. Minimum is a lot. But selfish people, they want to buy minimum from me and go and resell. And sending boys in the numbers to buy minimum for one person. So that one, I think we're going to put measures as well. We'll be talking to the dealers so that they come up with certain strategies so that elderly people are able to buy minimum.
Some elderly and health-affected individuals were given priority in purchasing minimum. Kazela Bwanda, Zanis, in Mazabuka District, Southern Province.
Also in the news, government says it plans to incorporate teachers in the development of the curriculum. Speaking during the commemoration of World Teachers' Day held at Lusaka Showgrounds, Minister of Education Douglas Siakalema noted that teachers are at the forefront of nurturing generations and imparting knowledge. Here is a report by Raphael Chiti.
It was a colorful event that brought teachers from different parts of the country together in commemorating the World Teachers' Day held under the theme Valuing Teachers' Voices Towards a New Social Contract for Education. Speaking at the event, Minister of Education Douglas Siakalema says it is crucial to recognize the pivotal role teachers play in national building as the country marks its 60th year of independence.
I wish to challenge all of us to embrace the implementation of the new curriculum. That is the 2023 curriculum review. This new curriculum is designed to promote lifelong learning, entrepreneurship, practical skills, and 21st century skills, ensuring that education aligns with the needs of industry and the evolving demands of our economy. This initiative has the full support of President Hakainde Hichilema. We continue to engage with unions to improve conditions of service, dismantle debts owed to both retirees and working teachers, and unfreeze positions in some schools. We are also working to ensure teachers receive the permit IDs, which will enable them to access the benefits they deserve.
And National Union of Public and Private Educators of Zambia, NUPEZ, said that teachers are the backbone of a thriving education system whose voices must be heard.
These head teachers are going through a lot in managing these schools. They go through a lot, and some of them would not talk, but they are dying inwardly. And they also deserve the support of everybody. So even as teachers, let's support them. They are not our enemies. That's why we find it very unfortunate when there's a report from the Office of Auditor General painting a picture that head teachers are thieves. Yes, there may be some bad eggs, but to paint a picture that our head teachers steal these grants is not a good sign.
Meanwhile, a teacher from Mufulira, who was awarded for outstanding performance, called upon the government to continue awarding teachers in order to motivate them.
Me winning this award has really left me speechless, as I never knew that my efforts were appreciated this much. I'm really happy and glad that I've received these awards on a national level.
For Zanis in Lusaka, I am Raphael Chiti.
We now take our last break. Stay tuned.
Today is a program that keeps you informed on various government policies and programs. Join us every Tuesday at 18 hours on Zanis TV, Topstar platform, channel 6 DTT and 458 DTH. Don't miss.
And of the news. Ndola-based economist says the country's economy will drastically improve if the current load management is worked on through the planned diversification and investment in the energy sector that government has put in place. Speaking during the Lens program in Ndola, Manasseh Siwila says businesses have been affected as a result of electricity challenges, hence the need for government to address the need for alternative sources of power to supply to industrial areas and markets. Details in the following reports.
With the 2023-2024 drought leading to power cut, government, through the 2025 national budget, is seeking to guide Zambia carefully through the crisis and bring the country to prosperity. Speaking during the Lens, a Zanis Copper Belt program, Ndola-based economists have suggested ways on how the economy can improve.
Maybe our peer as private sector is the Revenue Authority in their efforts. It would be very good, and we will support them to increase the tax base. I think it's attainable when we get a lot of the informal sector captured, because there's a lot of, I think, potential out there, and you could see one or two interventions even in the budget to capture as much as possible. So our appeal would be widen further the tax base.
Remember, we are in an economic crisis right now where we know that indeed we have not enough resources that we need to see to it that medicines in hospitals, other aspects that we all need for us to have enough of how we need to live, how we need to have the cost of living for ourselves is well improved. And obviously we know as citizens also to an aspect of understanding to say we have to have a government that should be responsible enough, that should be able to respond to the needs that obviously all of us will be happy about, that will be also make us have the cost of living that we are talking about well improved and taken care of.
Addressing the current load management challenge can help the country attain the 6.6 gross domestic product.
We've seen this issue of having, shortages in terms of electricity supply, which has affected a lot of businesses, has affected a lot of, economic drivers that we need to have in this economy. Then we end up now trying to have alternatives, like we've been told by government to say now we need to invest so much into these other alternative sources that we need to have. So once that is well attained and we have that one taken care of in a more holistic and honest way, you'll find that can be achieved and it will make the best out of whatever we think should be attained. And in the sense that looking at the current, economic, macroeconomic policies that are more like trying to come through for.
We saw in the minister's presentation, he recognized factors that have affected agriculture, like the rainfall pattern, the lack of, the shortage of energy, the crisis that we're in due to our dependence on hydro. I need to mention that he did acknowledge that over time, as a country, we have ignored expert advice, and it's time to incorporate expert advice and do something about the situation we found ourselves in. So having said that, I wish to say, I think with some of the expansion projects, the new mines that are coming on board, mines in Mumbwa, the current mapping of the country in terms of knowing our resources in the ground, it's opening up, providing information to would-be investors to invest in those sectors. And yes, I think those are some of the things that could support even some of the plans that have been laid out in the budget. Thank you.
Improving in mining, agriculture, and tourism sector will help improve the economic growth. Nelly Bota, Zanis, Ndola.
We now bring to you child development segment in Western Province. Mwandi constituency Member of Parliament Siveso Kakoma has called on parents to take advantage of the free education policy and keep their girl children in school instead of marrying them off at a tender age. Speaking during the handover of a 1x2 classroom block at Sakasise Primary School, Ms. Kakoma said children are the future leaders, hence the need to ensure that every child has access to quality education. Details in the following reports.
This is Sakasise Primary School, located about 70 kilometers away from Mwandi Ward, with a population of over 400 pupils from grade 1 to 7. The pupils here have been learning in this 1x2 classroom block and some under a tree for a long time now. But government, through the increased Constituency Development Fund, has added another 1x2 classroom block to decongest the existing classrooms and improve learners' experience. We are grateful. We used to suffer a lot when we only had one classroom block. Our children used to learn under a tree. The newly built classroom block is testament that government loves us and our suffering has reduced. Mwandi constituency Member of Parliament Siveso Kakoma has handed over the classroom block.
So we are very, very committed to supporting government policy. The only message that we've left the people here is that they should make sure that their children are going to school. We do not want a situation where we are building classroom blocks and children are dropping out of school because of teenage pregnancies. But so we are also making sure that we are sensitizing parents to make sure that they can keep their children in school because they are our leaders and our future leaders. We are in a relay. Right now we have the stick and we are looking forward to passing that stick to a child who has been helped through government policy of free education. So we are very, very excited about it and we are still remain committed to the challenges that they still face.
Mwandi District Education Board Secretary Ubwala Chishimba noted that the added 1x2 classroom block will improve education quality.
Because of education, the community in Magumu Ward will develop. And because of what the government has done, through CDF, this district, from the inception, for the past 20 to the past 60 years, has not received development like this one. Therefore, this will increase the space.
This is an answered prayer for the pupils here, and their education journey continues. Marichola for Zanis in Mwandi District, Western Province.
And in Northern Province, the Department of Child Development in Northern Province has called on community child protection committees to sensitize the public on the need to end child marriages. Northern Province Child Development Coordinator Motion Milambo says community child protection committees are key to addressing issues such as ending child marriages. Mr. Milambo states that it is worrying that cases of child marriages have continued to occur in the province despite many interventions that the government has put in place. Speaking during a child protection meeting, Mr. Milambo revealed that many children, especially in rural parts of the province, are being married before the age of 18. Also on child development, government has called on private sectors and the community to work together in bringing out the potential in less privileged and vulnerable children. Speaking when drumming up support for the launch of the 2024 Kids Festival scheduled for October 5, Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts Permanent Secretary Chileshe Kangwa noted that the government is committed to making sure that every child gets the same chances and opportunities in order to promote an inclusive environment for kids, especially refugees. The Permanent Secretary was represented by the Ministry's Sports Development Officer, Somba Musunsa. Butterfly Managing Director Shika Liswaniso pointed out that the event will not only promote the right to play for children, but enable them to learn other cultures through dance and art. Meanwhile, Makeni Transit Center Refugee Officer Castro Singelengele commended Butterfly Entrepreneurship for the invitation extended to the children at his orphanage for the 2024 Kids Festival. We end the news with a sports item. A delegation of high-ranking officials from the Malawi Correctional Service, led by their Commissioner General Masaoko Wiskott, has arrived in Chipata, Eastern Province, to witness sporting activities being held between the correctional services of Zambia and Malawi at the newly refurbished David Kaunda Stadium. This came to light when Zambia Correctional Services Commissioner General Frederick Chilukuti and his Malawian counterpart paid a courtesy call on the administration in Chipata. Eastern Province Acting Permanent Secretary Matthew Zingambi marked the correctional services of Malawi for coming to Zambia for the sports event, which will not only strengthen the bilateral ties, but also provide an opportunity for the correctional services to deal with issues of mutual interest and cooperation. More in the following reports. On that note, we end the news, but before we go, let's have a recap of the stories that made headlines. President Hichilema to grace Umutomolo ceremony in Nakonde on Sunday. Vice President Mutalena Lumango urges Zambians to embrace education. Government calls for comprehensive investigation in a Zamsa distribution truck spotted in Kanyama. And Eastern Province hosts Zambia-Malawi bilateral games. On behalf of my sign language interpreter, Jennifer Shalionda, and the entire news production crew, my name is Nambula Mwangala. Thank you for watching.